So, hi, my name is Ceci Vasconcelos. I'm the Las Cruces Public Art Program Coordinator. And we're here today to talk about the 2025 Art Stop Bus Shelter art exhibit, which is a rotating art program that the Public Art Program started about in 2021 maybe. And we had our first pilot program last year, and this is our second one. And so I have my friends here with me, and I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Chantal Yazzie Martin, and I'm the art board chair for this year.
Hi, my name is Richard Hanway, and I'm the transit director here at the city of Las Cruces, and was happy to partner with the art board in this project to put the art and public art on our bus shelters.
Yeah, we couldn't have done it without Richard because, he had to figure out how to put frames on these bus shelters that we could put artwork on. So it's kind of cool how this whole program came together, because we started from like nothing. We had no idea really what we were doing. So and Chantal really was on the forefront. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. It was like my first year, I believe, on the art board. It was my first project. I was with two other members, and we were just kind of walking around. I think the prompt was to put something on the workout, I don't know what it's called, a complex, on Hadley. And then we noticed that there was already a big sticker that had the turtle logo, I think. And I was like, whoa, that's already kind of beautiful. We don't want to like waste funds and take it off and put something on there. So we kind of walked around, and then we saw the bus stop right on Walnut, thank you. And so we were like, what about there? So we took sample pictures. We're like, we could put something here. And our previous chair at that time was like, well, I've seen projects like this happen. And so maybe, the general public might like it. So that's where it kind of initially started. Our brains started brainstorming, and then we were like, what can we do? And the original, I didn't know what I was doing too. So that was a big portion of it. It's probably why it took so long, a little bit. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've worked with Ceci for quite a few years, and she sent me the picture of what you guys had put on. Like you superimposed a flower on the art screen that was there.
Yeah.
And it was a windscreen that we had there.
Yeah.
And so it was just a concept that you guys had sent me. And I was like, let me reach out to some of the bus shelter manufacturers, because they manufacture the bus stops. And I asked them if they could do something like that, if they could make something that had a plastic cover on it that was see-through, that would also be waterproof so it wouldn't get damaged over time.
Right.
And I was all in. I was like, they said they could do it, and I found some funding for you all, and I had them make 6 of them. We chose the 6 so we could put one in each council district.
Exactly. And, it's nice when people say yes instead of, well, no, so we really appreciated that Richard was willing to work with us. And so the whole point about doing this was that the public art program really wants to give an opportunity to local artists to show their artwork. And we also want to make artwork accessible to everyone, really, because, there's people that really don't have a lot of art in their lives or opportunity to see art or, go do the museum thing or wherever else art is available. So we wanted to bring it to everyone, give that opportunity to them. So this year we had a theme, I think. Do you remember what that was?
It was very broad. I wanted to add one more point for the origins. And it was actually during the pandemic, because I think that's when we originally started. And I was doing a lot of research about how art can actually help with anxiety. My background's in mental health. And so that was like a big part of the inspiration too, because I was seeing articles that were saying, our bus shelter art helps ease, the anxiety for waiting for the bus, because everything changed, We had sanitation, all of that stuff, masks, and there was a little bit of fear. So I was looking at some of those projects too, and there was like one where there was like a giant wolf, but it was like surrounded with flowers, and it was really well done. That was a painted on one. And so those are referenced in some of the origins too. So
gosh, I'd forgotten about that.
Throw away. I know, it's been so long.
Yes. So getting back to the theme.
I think it was the best of your Las Cruces, but it was a little too broad, I think. So, I mean, it was a pilot project. So I think we're always learning about it, but it was the best of your Las Cruces. And I used like the example of like the best of my Las Cruces is the menudo on Solano for a specific restaurant. That is my favorite menudo in town. So I was like, if I were to submit, it'd be that big giant bowl of menudo, and that would be my best of Las Cruces. So that's kind of the theme for what we were trying to get to. And then it would be an ad, and we couldn't do it. I know. I was like,
And I don't know if you realize this, but it's interesting how our artist really couldn't conceptualize the size of the poster. Right. And we got so many different sizes, and it was like, it's long and narrow, which, it's kind of strange in itself. Mm-hmm. So I think that could have been challenging for them to fit their artwork into that space.
Well, I mean, I think they did a really good job. I mean, because I get it, things don't look that perception, that depth perception, and the canvas that they were having to work on, it was a standard shelter that we modified, basically, that windscreen. So I could see where if you had something that was square and then you had to make it rectangle, it would have kind of distorted it. Right. But that just goes to show their creativity. Yeah. For me, I'm not an art person like that, but I can appreciate it. You know what I mean? I think they came out really nice.
They did. I think they
add
really
color.
Yes.
To the shelter and to the surrounding area. And I think we did a good job of selecting locations too, because there's a lot of places where the traffic is stopped at a light and they can see. Mm-hmm. So they're not so distracted at trying to look at the art as they're driving by. Right. So, I mean, we took those things into consideration when we were placing them. So, safety as well. And so they would get more visibility.
Okay. Right. Exactly. So do you want to look at some of the artwork?
Yeah.
Let's look at Keena Wolff.
Hi, my name is Keena Wolff, and we are standing outside in front of Taco Bell at the best stop in town because it happens to have some of my artwork on it. It is called Dreamcatcher, and it is my perception of a dreamcatcher, but as a woman, so kind of my take on it. It feels very Southwestern. And of course, I'm from here, from Las Cruces, born and raised. And so just a little nod to our culture and things like that. I've been trying my hand at everything, oils, watercolors, things like that, but I've really gotten into digital. Doing traditional since I was born. It's really kind of the 21st century type thing, and getting used to it has been hard, but it's helped, especially in my new career of being a tattoo artist. So this one's big, bold lines, expressive, and things like that. Things that will work on a tattoo is what I've been drawing, just so that the two come together. And it's really nice because this one's extra special because a few people actually have gotten this tattoo, the specific one, on them, on their body forever. So that's a really, really nice. And one of them just happens to be my husband. So some details in the piece, I've really tried to keep it simple, but really punch in the fact that she's mysterious. So she's got Dreamcatcher, the headdress, and she's shushing you, as in you're falling asleep, and she's stealing your dreams, and she has no pupils, which is kind of a staple of my art. A lot of the girls that I draw don't have pupils, and I do that intentionally because I want the viewer to kind of put themselves in the art and give her the emotions that you are thinking of when you see it. When I draw in pupils, it kind of gives her a little more purpose, like mad or sad or things like that. So when they're blank, it lets you kind of project yourself on it. I hope people will see the art and it makes them happy. It makes them think a little bit, what could it be about? It's mysterious and things like that. And maybe they do the QR code and they see that we have a tattoo studio here on Main Street, and they come on down. We've got a really cool gift shop and things like that, but we also do lots of tattoos, and I've got a certain style, so if you like it, come by and see what you can see.
That was a good pitch to have her husband be the canvas for the
Right.
tattoo. Though.
Right.
It is nice though. When she said it was by Taco Bell, I was a little thrown off because I was like, what? And then I saw the Speedway there, and then I saw the Public Works. They're doing stuff. They're like fixing the sidewalks in that area. So they must have just recently shot that.
Yeah. And, we tried to match the artwork to the area where the bus shelter is. Okay. So we wanted to put hers in that area because it's near Young Park. It's near a really busy kind of area where like Chick-fil-A is across the street sort of, and the gas station is there. So there's a lot of different age groups going through there. So I kind of like that young feel of it. And that's why we chose that shelter. None of this is accidental. So, and I really like that it showcases tattoo art because I just think tattoo art is pretty amazing. And, you don't always get to see it because it's on people's bodies. So
that's true.
Let's see. Let's take a look at Josh Grant's.
My name is Joshua Grant, and this is my quail. It's a Gambel's quail. By day, I'm a fish biologist, but by night, I'm an artist and a dad. It's just something I like to do in my pastime. I'm not formally trained in art at all, but I'm just a self-taught artist. I'm a big outdoorsman, and I love seeing these guys out in the wild. I'm a big birder, I'm a fisher, I'm a hunter. I love everything about this bird. I mean, they're pretty, they sound cool, they taste great, they're fun to watch. They're just such a really pretty bird. Gambel's quail are very synonymous with our desert. So you see them around town, you see them in the public open spaces. You could even see them in our parks sometimes and our neighborhoods. So I just thought it was a great bird that really captures Las Cruces, other than the Roadrunner, but another cute little bird that people really like to see and hear. I started with pen and pencil on a sketchboard since I'm out in the field a lot with my job. I always have a little sketchbook, and then after I have a basically complete drawing, almost like a tattoo, I have where it needs to be shaded and whatnot. I then go to my iPad. I upload that picture on there, then I use the different colors and brushes and to what I like and how it comes out right here. So it starts off traditional, goes on to digital, and that way when it's digital, you can scale it up and down to whatever size you need. It could go on prints, it could go on mugs. So it's a really great way to get from just traditional to marketable products like this. My kids love this piece. Yeah, even my wife, she's like, can I get this tattooed? I'm like, I mean, that'd be fantastic. I'm very humble with my work, and I feel like it's just I don't know, this is mind blowing because I didn't think, since I'm not formally trained as an artist, just having my work displayed like this is really, really cool. It's just really cool showcase piece. I want them to know about the bird and our public lands in New Mexico. A lot of people just don't look around at the land that we have around here. These, you could just go over to the base of the Oregons and you could go find a lot of quail. You could find Gambels, you could find scale quail. I just want people to look at this, look behind them and see, oh, look, there's probably quail right over there. There's a lot of wildlife around our buildings, and just appreciate nature a little bit more. Get out there, go for a hike. Just go explore. Get off the screens and go look at our beautiful landscapes here in Las Cruces.
See, and this is what I was saying about, because he could have made the bird super big, you know what I mean, in the rectangle space, but he used that branch to have it perch on there, so it kind of made it more lifelike, you know what I mean? Right.
And that's one issue when the artists don't give us that already cropped image, because we don't want to interpret their placement or their eye for it. So if there's somebody that doesn't have that, but we really like the piece, we have to go back, and that's what we had to do, right? We had to go back and let them know, hey, you have to crop it, and if in the way that you want to, so we know that the audience sees it through your lens. We don't want to interpret your work because of that. I love how they keep saying tattoo. And I did ask him that night. I was like, can I get this tattooed as well? And he had the same reaction. So, and then I told Keena, I would like that on my thigh. And she was like, yeah, come on by. So it is really nice to see some of this newer art that I guess feels younger too, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Art inspires art.
Mm-hmm.
And my guys got a little camera time too.
They sure did. Installing it. So they're pros at that now.
I'm going to tell them.
But I just thought it was really cool. So we don't know the artist when they submit their artwork. We do it by the artwork, not by the artist. So, to get this guy who's an outdoorsman and you probably would look at him and never think that guy's an artist. Mm-hmm. He's like a outdoorsy guy first and foremost. But I just think it's really cool that he is an artist. And even though he doesn't do it as a profession, like he's done it for this.
This might inspire him to try.
Yeah, maybe, maybe.
So.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, right? Is giving those opportunities. So in case he's never thought about becoming a professional, for whatever reason, maybe he will now. Mm-hmm. So on that note, let's go to our NMSU students.
Hi, my name is Citlali Delegando. I am currently a studio art major at NMSU, and we are in front of Safe Mart for my piece, Second Sight. This piece is about intuition, about every woman's intuition that we're born with and that we carry on throughout our lives. Knowing where you're from and holding on to that throughout your life, and even when you don't know where you're going to, that's why the background is abstracted. You still keep yourself grounded. There are little hints of where we're from in the Chihuahuan Desert. She has a nopal shirt and chanclas, and this is inspired by the purple opunta cactus, the purple prickly pear, which is an endemic species, which it only lives here and it only grows here in the Chihuahuan Desert. I did this from some photo references that I took myself, and there was this little girl who looked really on guard. She was holding on to her mother while the mother was turning her back on, the space, and the little girl looked like she was looking out for her mom. I did this to know that it's okay not to always know what you're gonna paint. You always start from somewhere, so I started with painting the girl, and then during my art history class, I was learning about American action painters and abstract expressionists. And so I took a little bit of inspiration and I put my own body into the painting. Usually my paintings are all around rendered out and you can tell what everything is representing. So I wanted to know that it's okay to not always know what I'm doing and then find meaning within it after I'm finished. And so that's exactly what I did. It's a little bit hard to tell, but if you look closely, there's a second person in this painting. It's actually the same girl, but I wanted to play around and see how I can paint something that isn't physically real. I am so thrilled that it got a space in the public art setting because it's not typical where my oil paintings or things that some consider fine art are put in public spaces for everyone to see. I want people to know, especially little girls or their mothers or people who take the bus to look at this girl and carry her spirit on with everyone. I feel like it's a self-portrait of everyone because I started it out as a self-portrait of me, even though this little girl doesn't look like me. I think it's like what we're born with. I just want people to go about their day and carry that determination with her.
That's cool. I didn't know that other face was there. I didn't notice that.
I love this piece. I don't know. You look at it and it just tells so many different stories. And actually, the story she just told about it, I would never have thought of it that way. I was like, I went to a darker place, to be honest. It was, about immigration or something like that. But, still, it's such a beautiful piece.
I noticed that there's a QR code on the bottom on some of them. So whenever somebody goes to that QR code, what do they get out of that? Do they get this video of her explaining what the art is? Because that was pretty powerful. Yeah. I thought. Yeah. I didn't look at that piece like that. I mean,
right.
But knowing what she felt about it and how she did it and why she did it, that gives a lot more meaning to it.
Yeah.
I think.
Absolutely. So the QR code actually goes to our website, and each artist gets a page of their own, and it tells, who the artwork is by and the name of the artwork and a little bit about it. The description is nowhere close to this. I mean, it's what the artist put in their artist statement when they submitted this. But yeah, like I said, I had no idea that this was the story behind this painting. So so maybe, we can tie it somehow to these videos. I think that'd be a really great idea.
That would be, I mean, to have access, or the public to have access to that, I think that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Especially in the art community.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, people that are in that community, they understand each other, you know what I mean?
Yes. And Citlali and Yalet, who's our next artist, are both NMSU students.
Hi, I'm Yanar. I'm an artist. I am currently a student at NMSU, pursuing my bachelor's in fine arts for studio art. I'm a painter, and I do some ceramics and photography on the side, and this is my painting. So this piece is titled Take a Walk. I made it about a year ago. For this painting, I was making like a singular landscape out of an entire journey. So this journey was the walk that I would do every day from Breland Hall to Delegando Hall. So I would just literally record it every time I did the walk. And then I grabbed stills of bits that I thought were interesting or like important to the walk. And I sort of photoshopped them together to create, the singular landscape. I tried playing with like dimension and space, and so that's why I kind of overlapped the different paths, like the sidewalks and roads that I would go through, and the different buildings that I would pass by. I actually have no idea who the guy that I painted is. He had a similar route to me, so he would always be walking in front of me, and he showed up in a lot of my reference pictures. And this painting is actually pretty different from my usual art. I usually do a lot of figures, so I think I added him in there just to add a sense of familiarity into this project. But yeah, I have no idea who it is. So I made it specifically, I think the colors and the architecture that I chose to add into it, give people a sense of the campus and the city of Las Cruces. I brightened it up to, reference like all the artwork that we have here and like all the murals and just how colorful the city is. I want people to just kind of see the beauty of the city and the campus. Even though I made it only a year ago and I'm still on campus, I get like a sense of nostalgia from it already just because I don't do that walk anymore.
I wonder if the guy recognizes himself.
Well, it's right there on University, so.
I know.
Did you guys choose that piece because of her reference to NMSU?
We had no idea it was a reference to NMSU.
Oh, she didn't put it in the bio thing?
No.
Oh.
And in fact, one of our selection committee judges was looking at it and they said, well, this doesn't really relate to Las Cruces because we don't have these tall buildings here. I mean, it's just so out of context. Mm-hmm. But we just really like the colors and we like the composition of it.
Yeah.
So
the perspective, like the movement. And at least I was looking into like transportation, and this person was walking on a projected pathway. So I was like, oh, I like the movement. I like the colors too. So
but when she explains where she's walking, there are bigger buildings on NMSU.
Right,
so
right.
Then it like comes together.
Right.
She explained
and we didn't find that out till afterwards. So it was one of those happy mistakes.
Yes.
Not mistake, but
intentions.
Yeah.
Well, I like these two NMSU students because they had a similar like intention of fine arts, and then they were like, oh, it's now in public eye, which kind of makes me sad about how we have fine arts is like dedicated to one space, like a museum or something. Mm-hmm. So I love that this project like expanded that opportunity for them, and they can see like their art in more public spaces, which is exactly what we wanted to do. Yeah. So,
and we have two other artists, Lowther. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. But she's pretty well known in this area, and she's done a lot of murals and a lot of, she's a really diverse artist and does a lot of different things. And so I'm really happy that she did the Ocotillo painting. And it's funny because we needed her to crop that piece, and we asked her to do it, and she's like, "Well, I've already sold that, so it's not like I have it here. I can't take another picture of it." But she managed to get it done. So, and then there's Jose Saldivar, who did New Mexico gnome, and I think his artwork is really what's the word, whimsical. And he has a little guy sitting on the back of a Roadrunner, and he has, I think he's holding like a chili pepper cup or something. Yeah. So he had a lot of little elements in there that kind of talk about this area and what we see around here. So I thought it was cute and funny.
That was really telling because the gnomes are everywhere. Like, I love going to like different stores in town, and, you know, for aesthetic reasons, gnomes are really big. So, I mean, they have little gnomes with bunny ears, or like they're spooky ones. And I thought, another one, but this one was the coolest because I love the New Mexico theme. Yeah, I was like, I would love that to be like a T-shirt or a stuffed animal or something.
Very easily could be.
Yeah.
You know, it was nice for us to have that like grand opening that you guys had for them, and just being able to be there to let them know that the writing public have made comments to the bus drivers about like, where did it come from, and where, you know, why were we putting it on the shelters. And I've explained to the bus drivers so they could give a little bit of information, but it's kind of nice that the public is seeing it and they're making comment on it. And it was kind of nice to relay that back to the artists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think we should do more if we can. You know what I mean? Maybe put a survey out, you know, on the buses, so as people are riding, they can make a comment or comment card or something.
That's a great idea.
Or like a survey monkey, something they can enter on their phone.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? To get feedback. I think that would be exciting for the artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, that's kind of why we put the QR codes there also, is just to see how many people are paid attention, and maybe we'll look for more information, but they don't always do that. Right. But they do notice it. So it'd be another way to find out what they're saying.
Yeah. So what are they saying? Like some of the comments that you heard?
I mean, I've heard like they're amazing. Some of the people, some are just curious because they're like, well, how come this bus stop has that and another one doesn't?
Yeah.
And so some of that doesn't get relayed all the time. I mean, I know why we did it.
Yeah.
You know, to make sure that we had one in every district in the city. That way there was diversity and everybody got to share in it. But I think, like we've talked earlier, that I think we should try to expand it. I think we should try to get another 6 more. And I think it brings a lot of culture and character to the city. So
yes,
I would be more than happy to partner again.
Okay, you have it here on record. So yeah, no, I absolutely agree, and I think we have a lot of artists who would be very interested in giving us or allowing us to use their artwork for this purpose. So, do you have any goals or vision of where you think this will go in the future? Since it was your little baby to begin with.
Everybody says that, but it was a group effort. It was. I got a lot of feedback from Ceci. It was a lot of back and forth, and Richard gave a lot too for the locations and which ones are most with the most public eye, and all of them are, but like where we can stop and look. So it was a group effort. But yes, it was eventually kept with me because I was the only one on that outreach committee for a really long time. So my hope is to expand it as well, to put more. We didn't talk about the inside. So we did that mock-up, right? But then we did like one on top of the bus stop, one inside, and then one on the other side of the wind blocker at that point. So I think it'd be really cool to maybe look into multiple sites on the bus stops once we can expand it to different bus stops as well. And I just love how it's not like ad-based, because I went to El Paso and I was looking at the benches. They had call here for, different things. But that was my, I guess, desire was on the benches, they have a little screen now where you can also slip in some art. So over there's ads, but I was like, I'm going to talk to Richard about that. And a lot of our benches would have to be restructured, but I thought that was a really cool idea. That's where I would like to see it to go.
Yeah. And inside the buses too, there's areas where we can actually slide in artwork and have our own little traveling galleries, all over the city.
Yeah, all the buses have an ad space that run the length of the bus, just above where people are sitting. So if you're on this side of the aisle and you look, you can see them, and vice versa, looking the other way. So, and right now we're not doing a lot of advertising on the bus. We used to have a firm out of Albuquerque that would do some of the bus wraps and things like that, but they're no longer doing that anymore. So I have space, and I think we've talked about some of that. But I was going to tell you, I was going over how many bus stops that we have. 280 bus stops in the city, and 94 of them have shelters.
Ooh.
So there's still 88. There's still 88 windscreens that there's opportunity. So.
Okay. Well, on that note, so there's a lot of different ways people can look or see our Art Stop bus shelter exhibit. They can actually go there in person and look at all 6 of them, drive around the city. For the locations, just go to the website. It'll give you all the locations. You can also go on the website and just look at them through pictures, but I think it's much better when you see them in person. And also we have an interactive art map that is, you click on a link and it'll show you the location, and then you click on the little dot and it'll show you what the artwork is and tell you a little bit about it. So there's a different way if you're not able to get in your car and drive around. So we hope you will check the artwork out. And
there's another way that they could see them.
What's that?
They could jump on the bus.
Jump on the bus. Oh my gosh. That's right. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, this was really fun. Thank you. Actually, we had an origin story, and then we could talk about our reactions. Because honestly, I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. And I was like, I hope it works. It's a pilot project. And then we did a second year, and then the response has been really awesome. So thank you. And the general public, I hope, likes these pieces, and we have more to come. So yeah, thank you all.
Right.